Donald Trump. To some, a hero. To others, a villain. But what if his story isn't just political? What if it's shaped by deeper patterns? The kind our souls carry from lifetime to lifetime, until we finally learn the lesson. Some call it karma. I call it soul work. Astrology reveals the soul behind the story. The patterns we repeat, the loops we get stuck in, and how to evolve beyond them. And when we look closer at Trump's birth chart, we don't just see what he does, we see the why he pushes boundaries, why he divides, why he leads with fire. His chart reveals something deeper, a soul wired to shake things up, to break the rules, to lead, whether the world is ready or not. So in this episode, we're getting up close and personal to uncover the truth behind Donald Trump. What truly drives him, not just his mission to lead a nation, but what his soul came here to learn. We're going beyond the headlines and into the stars, because Donald Trump's birth chart, it's louder than any headline you've ever read. Stick with me, because I'm going to show you exactly why. His chart is full of fire, just like him, a soul designed exactly as it is. His sun, which is his ego, vitality, and willpower, is located in Gemini, the communicator, the messenger. His moon, which governs emotion and instinct, is in Sagittarius, blunt, bold, and built to believe. His ascendant, the first impression he makes, the door into his personality, is in Leo, the performer, the king archetype. This is an air and double fire soul, built for attention and built for impact. A man born to command a room, to provoke, to polarize, but to understand who he is now, we have to go back to where the soul has already been. And that's the South Node in his birth chart, the starting point of the story. The South Node shows where the soul is coming from, a kind of spiritual muscle memory of what feels familiar on a deep, unconscious level. Trump's South Node is in Sagittarius, a sign known for bold opinions and the urge to speak what feels like truth. It sits in his fourth house, the part of the chart tied to home, childhood, emotional roots, and inherited conditioning. But there's more. His moon is right there too, at home in the fourth house, amplifying that this isn't just what he thinks, it's what he feels in his bones. A soul shaped by the need to defend its truth, especially when it feels personal. Over lifetimes, conviction became identity, a belief that his truth is the only truth. But soul evolution asks us to grow, to expand, to walk a new path even when the old one feels like home. And this is where the North Node steps in. It points to the soul's next step in this lifetime, the direction it came here to grow into, even when it feels unfamiliar. While the South Node shows what the soul has already mastered, the North Node shows what the soul is here to become. It's not about comfort, it's about evolution. Trump's North Node is in the sign of Gemini, positioned in the 10th house, the part of the chart that's all about public image, reputation, and legacy. This placement reveals the soul's assignment: become the messenger, not the preacher, and to learn that not everything felt needs to be spoken. This soul didn't choose Gemini to declare the truth. It chose Gemini to explore it, with curiosity and flexibility. His evolution hinges on one critical shift, from commanding belief to cultivating understanding. And only when he releases the need for one truth fits all can Donald Trump fulfill his higher calling, to use his voice as a bridge, not a barricade. But voice alone doesn't tell the full story, because energy, it speaks louder than words. And Trump's presence, it's not just heard, it's felt. His birth chart shows the planet Mars at 26 degrees Leo, fused with his ascendant at 29 degrees. But what does that mean? It's instinctual, bold, and dominant. He doesn't just enter a room. His energy commands it. Now add Uranus, planet of rebellion, upheaval, and radical change, and you get a man wired for disruption. Uranus sits close to his sun, his core identity, in the 10th house, the part of the chart that governs legacy, status, and power. This is raw power, and the ability to influence, to provoke, and to lead is one thing. But the real question is, can he use that power with responsibility? And that's where Saturn enters the conversation. He built towers in the sky, a name etched into steel and skyline, a legacy fueled by ambition. But what if that ambition wasn't just strategy? What if it was soul work, driven by a deeper need to prove something, to finish something left unresolved in the soul? In 1975, just a year after taking over the family empire, the planet Saturn returned to the exact degree it held at Trump's birth. In astrology, that's a karmic checkpoint, a cosmic rite of passage. Saturn is the planet of structure, responsibility, and limitation. This is a time in life that we're asked to grow up, to build something real and something solid. Even if it means facing the parts of us that resist change. Trump's Saturn is in Cancer, the sign of home, family, and emotional security. This placement demands emotional maturity. And just 2 degrees away from Saturn is Venus, the planet of connection, value, and love. And Venus, being so close to Saturn, it's like love wrapped in armor. Love with conditions and affection must be earned. Both planets sit in the 11th house, which is the house that rules community, collective impact, and legacy through influence. But they're not alone. This house holds a cluster of planetary energies. In astrology, this is called a stellium, and it amplifies everything. His chart screams, your karmic work is here, with the people, through your voice, through your legacy. Saturn in Cancer doesn't make it easy for Trump. It challenges him to lead not just with power, but with feeling, to stop trading vulnerability for control, and to build something real by being real. And for a soul as bold as his, how's that going? Let's just say it's still a work in progress. Trump's Mercury in Cancer reveals how he connects, not just with words, but with emotions. More importantly, how he positions himself as their voice. His communication style is not polished, but it's powerful. His voice connects with those who feel what he feels. With the planets, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury, all in the 11th house, Trump's words don't just land. They have the power to unite or divide. But what shapes that voice? And what pain hides beneath the power? To answer that, we turn to Chiron, the wound beneath the armor. Power that protects can also isolate. And beneath that armor, there's a wound. It lives in Chiron, the wounded healer. Not a planet, but a point in every birth chart. It's a cosmic scar, a soul mark of pain and potential. In Trump's birth chart, Chiron sits in Libra, the sign of balance, justice, and relationships. And it's placed in the 2nd house, the realm of self-worth, security, and inner value. The 2nd house builds our inner bank account, not with wealth, but with worth. This isn't just about money. It's about the deeper question, am I enough? With Chiron so close and just 3 degrees from Jupiter, the planet of expansion, exaggeration, and belief, this wound becomes louder and tied to identity. A soul that thrives on admiration, yet still quietly wonders, without their applause, do I still matter? This isn't the pain of being unloved. It's the ache of believing that love must be earned. He may build empires, but the foundation still trembles under one haunting belief. I am only worthy if they see me. And wounds like that, they don't stay hidden. They show up in how we lead, how we relate, and how the world reacts to us. To understand how Trump's karma impacts the collective, we turn to synastry, an astrological method that overlays 2 birth charts to reveal how energies collide, activate, or harmonize. So what happens when Trump's chart is layered over the chart of the United States? We see something striking. His sun, which represents his ego, identity, and life force. Uranus, the planet of disruption, rebellion, and shockwaves. And his north node, the soul's evolutionary path. All 3 are in the sign of Gemini, in his 10th house, which is the house of public image, reputation, and legacy. This is where personal ambition meets the world stage. and all three energies sit directly on a charged point in America's birth chart. This point is the planet Mars in Gemini in the 7th house, which is the house of relationships, legal matters, and open enemies, where alliances are formed and enemies are revealed. This alignment is dynamic, a point of karmic activation. Trump's personal planets ignite America's Mars, a symbol of the nation's drive, defense, and raw power. His sun spotlights it, his Uranus shocks it awake, and his North Node fuses his soul's mission with the nation's karmic trigger. This is the disruptor archetype in motion. He's not here to play games. He's here to shake things up, to challenge what's comfortable, to expose what's been hidden. It's a cosmic collision where soul contract meets national karma, and nothing stays the same. Is this alignment a coincidence? Or is it our nation's destiny unfolding in real time? Look at the headlines, feel the pulse of the country. Love him or hate him. He's not here to follow. He's here to stir the collective. And whether we realize it or not, we're all feeling the shakeup. But archetypes don't just live in myth. They live in us, in our birth charts, waiting to be seen and waiting to be activated. The birth chart of Donald Trump isn't good or bad, because astrology doesn't judge. It reveals, and it invites us to look deeper. Behind the behavior is a soul. Behind the soul is a pattern. And behind that pattern, a choice. It shows us the cycles we came here to experience and the ones we came here to break. And within those patterns, we meet the mirror.